For today's lesson, we are going to talk about relations and functions. And what you need to know that a relation is any set of ordered pairs. Also remember that an ordered pair is just an x and a y value. So any set of xy values, ordered pairs, that's what we're looking for. Relations can be expressed in a whole bunch of ways. It can be written as a set of ordered pairs, which is what you see right here. The relation is the set of 1, 1, 2, 2, etc. These exact same ordered pairs can be shown other ways. They can be shown in a table of values. We're taking the same x, y coordinates, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, etc., but putting them in a table of values chart. We could also graph these particular points on a grid. Okay, it's the same points, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, etc. And you can also show a relation using an arrow diagram, which is this one right here. So the arrow diagram just says I've got point 1 in my x column pointing to point 1 in my y column. 2 can be paired with the 2, that's 2, 2 ordered pair. 2 can be paired with the 3, that's 2, 2. So arrow diagrams are basically x, y's as well. It's a different way to see it. When we talk about ordered pairs, we talk about things in terms of the domain and the range. The domain is the set of all the x values or all the first elements. It's also known as the independent variable. The range then is the set of all y values or of all second elements, and it's known as the dependent variable. One good way to remember domain and range is if you look at the letters, D and R are in alphabetical order, as are X and Y. So X becomes before Y, D for domain comes before in the dictionary before R, which is the range. So that might be one way to remember. Then we start talking about functions, and a function is a specific type of relation in which each element of the domain is paired with one and only one element of the range. Kind of sounds confusing, but bottom line is, in other words, the x values never repeat. Okay, so if your x values are repeating, while it's a relation, it's not a function. So here are some examples of things that are functions. If you take a look at your arrow chart, I've got 1 pointing to just a 1, 2 pointing to just a 3, 3 pointing to just a 2, but the x values don't repeat. In the other arrow diagram, we've got different x values. They all go to the same y, but that doesn't matter. The x values didn't repeat. And then this one's very obvious. The x values don't repeat. When you look at the ones that are not functions, you'll see where x values do repeat. The fact that this 2 has an arrow shooting off to 2 different values means the x value is repeating. And the same thing here. This 2 is shooting off to 3 different values. So essentially what this is saying is these ordered pairs would be 2, 1, 2, 2, and 2, 3. And the fact that you've got the same x's, that's a problem. It's not a function. And in terms of looking at the XY chart, I think that should be pretty straightforward. There's another way to tell whether or not you've got a function, and it's something that's called the vertical line test, and it's as simple as it sounds. You're just going to be drawing vertical lines to see whether or not you have a function. So what it says is a relation is a function if no vertical line passes through the point, if no vertical line passes through more than one point on the graph. The relation is not a function if any vertical line passes through more than one point. So what that's saying to you is if I were to draw vertical lines and I would look at this first graph right here, everywhere I draw a vertical line, my blue line and that black graph, that like upside down U, intersect at no more than one point. Here's one point of intersection. Here's a point, here's a point, here's a point, here's a point, but they're from all the different lines. So this right here is a function. When I look at this next point right here, this next graph, excuse me, when I draw a vertical line, I can draw one here, and I can draw one here, and I can draw one here. I should see, or you should see, that one vertical line is hitting more than one point. It only has to hit more than one point once for it to not be a function. Is not a function. And that is it. So we should be good to go for the homework.